too that you got some details in the HA that it's showing it's not synced, and there's some outstanding problems or issues um, here. And what you'll see is the differences. So sometimes you have to clear this out. If it does get stuck, I'll show you how to do that, how to get in the CLI and kind of fix some of that stuff. But right now we're still just waiting on it to finish syncing, so I'll repause, but you can see where it's stuck on a few things. All right, I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the video. We do have an issue with HA synchronization. This is actually a good thing so that I can show you a few things of how to kind of combat or fix this HA sync issue. And what I've noticed too with the FortiGates here is probably the least that you configure, the better off you are when you go to actually set up your HA. So you don't have the sync issue. The sync issue actually is kind of common as well after you do an upgrade. You'll have things out of sync as well. Um, so we'll get into the CLI, see if we can fix this, and actually set up that other interface so that we can get into the box directly. So let's go ahead and try to fix this. And because we have VDOMs, we can get into the CLI here with that nice little nifty CLI console, so we don't have to SSH or anything like that. But if you prefer PuTTY or whatever your terminal is, secure CRT, etc., you can use that as well. It's essentially the same thing, but we are in the global config right now, and we're going to go ahead and say diagnose sys checksum. Is that going to work for us? Or do we need to be one step below? I didn't hit HA, I think. Diagnosis HA checksum, and then recalculate. And we'll see if that fixes it. Sometimes you have to run it on the second box as well. And how do we access that second box now that we can no longer access it, right? It's sharing the same IP. Only the primary is going to respond. We can't get to it. We need to configure that other interface. So we can say execute HA, tab through this, manage, and 0. You actually have to tab on that one because I've seen this secondary unit become 1 sometimes. So I would say watch that, take a look, and tab through. Execute management, and then the admin or the username we're going to use. So in this case, it's admin. We'll hit admin and execute, and then the password. Helps if I type it in correctly. So now I'm on the secondary box. Now, that has the VDOMs, so we actually have to get into either global config or the actual VDOM we want. So we're going to go into global, so config global, and then config system interface. And then we can do a quick show here, and we'll see that port 1 is here. So we could say edit port 1, set IP 92.168.40.42, I think is what we're going to use. 24. And we need to make sure that we oh, that's a lot. Turn on ping, HTTPS, SSH, etc. So we want to set allow access, HTTPS, SSH, and ping. We can do more if you want. The options are there for SNMP, Telnet, Radius, etc. So those are the ones I'm going to turn on. And then again, it doesn't actually take effect. If you watch some of my other videos, let's try to ping 42, and you'll see it doesn't actually respond until you either say next or exit. And I've got my ping up now that I've hit next. You can say, I'm sorry, end, not exit, but it's next or end, and that will actually like save that command. Now that we have that, I can now get into the secondary box if I want to. And now I'll have access directly into it. And you can see now I have the lab firewall 2. It's got the global stuff. All the VDOMs are there. We're missing a few items. HA is here, and I can get into the HA for this side here. Has those monitors interfaces. Is HA still a problem, or is it synced? Nope. So that recalculate actually took care of that problem. And we're going to just say end here and exit. That gets us out back to the other one and end, and we can just kill those sessions. Let's refresh, and that recalculate, that diagnose sys HA checksum recalculate actually fixed all of that um, synchronization, right? That works a majority of the time, probably. I like to say 60% of the time it works every time, right? But no, it's probably closer to 80 to 90% of the time that it works. Uh, it's a line from Anchorman if you have watched it or not. But yeah, so we have both access to both boxes. Our HA is now synced. Everything looks good. There are some additional command lines that we can do. Now, the nice thing about FortiGate, the good, the bad about FortiGate, let's put it this way here, is I have a lot of additional options. I can do VDOM partitioning, etc. in here. Um, but a lot of the basic stuff is in the GUI. However, a lot of the advanced stuff is actually in the CLI. So, the nice thing I was going to say about the FortiGate is if you go into a section and instead of going up here for the CLI console, you can just say edit CLI and it'll take you directly into that spot where it says config system HA, etc. So we're already in the HA basically, right? So that's a nice feature that they have. Now the downside of that is why should I have to get in the CLI and not the GUI? I should be able to configure everything in the GUI. So a couple extra items I like to configure are I already have the session sync pickup enabled here, but I'm going to do connectionless. So I'll say set session pickup connectionless enable. Um, and then turn that one on for SIP. And let's see, is NAT here or not? Nope, there's a delay. So you have those additional items that you have, and you can do a real quick show. It'll see that connectionless is your UDP, not just TCP, and your so there's your additional session pickups that you'll need for UDP and SIP, etc. That's how you set up your management. And then we're going to say end so that it all saves. And if I go back into it to confirm, you'll see it's all there. So there you have it. That is HA. It is all fully synced. You have full management access. That is how I do the management, or my recommendation. If you have different settings, different opinions, different ways to do things, please let me know in the comments what's worked out well for you. If you've tried this and you worked it and you liked it, please leave a like. Thanks. Note in the comment section to say, hey, I was really struggling with this, and this really helped me. That'll help encourage me to make more videos. So I appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, thank you.